Thank you very much. My name is Rob McLeod. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for IDM Mining. Thank you for coming today to hear about what I believe is going to be one of the top stories globally for near-term high-grade gold producer. We're talking about 2 weeks ago, we announced a transaction whereby Ascot Resources, our neighbor in the Southern Golden Triangle, is going to acquire IDM Mining, and we're looking to get the transaction closed by the end of March. But this is by far going to be the top development story in British Columbia and one of the best stories worldwide. My presentation will have forward-looking statements, and certainly there is no assurance that transactions will go ahead. We're very confident that this is going to get closed, but please, when you have time, read this carefully. So I've been involved with working projects in the Stewart area for my whole life. In fact, 3 generations of my family have worked up here. And as with IDM, as we've advanced towards Red Mountain, you know, we've been looking at other opportunities. And when I met there's a new CEO for Ascot Resources, Derek White. And right off the bat, you know, I asked, hey, what's your vision? And his vision is to see production as soon as possible on what matters. What matters in mining, 200,000 ounces per year with a minimum mine life of 10 years. The vision for this company going ahead, we are getting to that critical mass in terms of high-grade resources, and certainly what mining hasn't done in the gold space for many years is make money, and this is going to be one of the higher margin deposits out there. You know, true synergies do come when you have projects near each other. This is something Derek's also said in a lot of the presentations we've done. We estimate multiples of IDM's market cap, and this will all come out in our information circular in terms of financial synergies, but really, you name it, it checks the box. True management synergies between local expertise, geological knowledge that we have, mining expertise versus a management team that has built and operated many mines. Together, we're going to have combined 1.4 million ounces of measured and indicated gold. All of the deposits have current underground workings, plus 1.4 million ounces of inferred together, and tremendous exploration upside in 2 of the best trends in the Golden Triangle. So really unmatched exploration potential. This will be a true competitor for Pretium in the Golden Triangle. Also, you know, we have a tremendous social license up here, if I do say. Stewart's one of the most pro-mining places on the planet. We never take it for granted. But also, through hard work, we've established a phenomenal relationship with the people of the Nisga'a Nation, and they have a settled treaty. So where are we located? Southern Golden Triangle, right outside of my hometown of Stewart. Premier started production of 100 years ago, has road access, power line access, a mill, a tailings facility, lots of resources and underground workings. By road, if there's a road up to Red Mountain, it's close, it's not all the way there. It'd be about 50 kilometers drive between the 2 different properties. And you would have further potential for further consolidation in the Golden Triangle. There's some photos of the Premier Mill that was built by Westman and operated until the late 1990s, and the tailings facility. So just going to briefly go through the plan of arrangement here. Each IDM share would equal 0.0675 Ascot shares. So that'll mean IDM shareholders will have about 70% of the pro forma company. IDM director, one of our strongest independent directors, Andre St. Germain, will be our designate to their board. It was announced, and there should be further news this week regarding a convertible debenture for US $10 million from Sprott to Ascot. They, in turn, so we can keep our engineering and benefit agreements, exploration, whatnot going ahead, we are getting a bridge loan from them. And our target by mid to late, probably around the 20th of February, we should mail our information circular, and there will be a vote 30 days later, and it requires 66 2/3% approval. There's about 19% shareholder of our shareholders, including Ascot Gold Royalties, have locked up. So the pro forma company, you got a great market cap here based on the prices when we announced of $260 million. A great share structure. Eric Sprott, Ascot Gold Royalties, lots of institutions, and a good deal of liquidity. Importantly, you have a really financeable company here to execute on project development. Here's one of the most important things. Globally, and this is from measured and indicated resources, in the 7th percentile of combined grade. And this is already with really low anticipated CapEx, given that there's lots of underground workings, road, and power access. So 7th percentile worldwide. And in terms of resources, really good grade. So 7.7 grams per ton. And actually, Red Mountain itself has amongst the most measured resources in the space. So these, if you have an economic study, can be converted over to reserves. Most of the inferred resources are within what we call the Premier Big Missouri Trend. So 4 deposits, all along the same structural corridor, same geological age. The plan during 2019 here would be to convert as many of those ounces as possible from inferred to measured and indicated to put into a mine plan. And again, these are really good grades. So just briefly on Red Mountain, there's about currently 704,000 ounces, mostly measured, combined measured and indicated. There's 2,000 meters of production size underground development. We use this for our underground drilling this year. This week, we will have drill results from our 2018 fall program. The metallurgy here is good. Expect over 90% recoveries, and it's a wide ore body. It's bulk mineable. Over 80% is amenable to low-cost long-hole stoping. So in a few years, when you're going to see production here, expect some of the lowest production costs in the business based on the geology and mineability of these deposits. Going over towards Premier. This, at one time, was the largest gold producer in North America. This is particularly historically a spectacular deposit. Golden Triangle is known for the super high grades like at Ascot Creek or Snip or Valley of the Kings. Historically, they used to mine 2.5 ounces per ton electrum, direct shipping stuff. So over 2.2 million ounces of historic production, big gold endowment, and tons of exploration potential. So there's the 4 major deposits all the way along the trend, and importantly, there's established infrastructure there. There's a new independent power producer that the power line that actually goes up to Bruce Jack starts here at this project. There's, as mentioned, the mill and tailings facility. There's a water treatment plant, cold storage, assay office. And also importantly, there's a lot of people around that worked at the mines Westman back in the 90s. We will be able to have our own in-house team of miners. Like you take my friends at Pretium, for example, they use Procon. We will be able to, through our mine manager, Dave Green, put one heck of a team together. Tons of exploration drilling, and believe me, I've followed the geology of this project for a long time. There is a lot of exploration upside. And the biggest thing that intrigues me here, where's one of those old high-grade zones that they mined back in the 1920s? Just spectacular electrum. I bet there's another one there. So what's the vision going forward? This is another thing Derek White said to me right off the bat. Get into production as soon as possible. There's optionality here. At Red Mountain, just last week, we received our federal EA approval. A few months earlier, we received our provincial EA certificate. The next step, take that and it goes into your Mines Act planning. At Premier, Ascot already has Mines Act permits. They need to be amended, so engineering teams are working on that and permitters. And to importantly, put the economics together, what is going to make the most money, but importantly, what is going to have the least impact with the most social benefit for our stakeholders, the Nisga'a and the residents of Stewart, BC. Additionally, there is absolutely no shortage of drill targets here, whether it's resource conversion or resource expansion. Ascot owns 8 of their own drills. They can drill at a real low cost. We've got a wonderful team up at Red Mountain as well, too. This truly is going to be one of the top stories going forward this year. keeping going with the engineering. And again, come to our booth at 4:35 to meet Derek White and hear about his history and the team that he's putting together there. The economic studies and the engineering to get this thing rolling, to get the next gold mine in British Columbia. That all happens, you can't do it without money, so making sure the company is fully financed. This project can certainly handle a heavy debt facility and try to minimize dilution. So just going to wrap things up here. For all of our IDM shareholders in particular, thank you so much for all the support over the years. It's been tough markets, but we've executed on what we said we'd do, and importantly, the true value for our shareholders going ahead is to be part of what is going to be by far the best story in the Golden Triangle. So thank you very much.